What is the role of Christian in society? Can we participate in government, voting, law enforcement, and the military? Can these be damaging to the soul in our relationship with God? Well, again, to answer that question, you would go back to church history, to the saints, and see what they did. See what they taught, how they worked. Were there people who were in government who became saints? In Orthodox countries, there were. We had kings who became saints. We had people who, who maybe became ascetics later, but they lived their life in the palace. Many. So it's not impossible. There were conscientious saints who loved their country very much. St. Paisios had a great love for his people, his country. He was in the military. He was a patriot. So can you do that? Yeah, absolutely. But with great discernment. And if you don't have that, you're not well versed, you're not well established, you don't know, you can get carried away with a worldliness that's not profitable. So I would say today it is a bit of a rocky journey and difficult journey for someone to say, I'm going to be a faithful, dedicated Orthodox Christian walking the ways of the saints, and I'm going to go into the arena of national politics or whatever. I'm going to work for the Republican National Convention. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I think it is wrought with a lot of difficulties because there's things held there, things done there, expected there, which you as an Orthodox Christian would have a problem with. You would be troubled. You would be troubled. It'd be struggle. I can't really embrace that. Like I can't work side by side with a pro-abortionist and just overlook that. Like that would be problematic. How could you do that? So theoretically possible, difficult. You need to be a very strong person to be engaged in all that today because this society is so alienated, right? I mean, we talk about America, but even America in its best is still very far from orthodoxy. I'm certainly in a way patriotic about America. As an American, I feel very, very concerned about the people of America, the future of America. Absolutely. But I don't want to, I need to keep the hierarchy and understand the spiritual principles. Like America, whatever it was, whatever good it was doing, whatever the founding fathers so-called were with regard to Christ, personally or whatever, it's not the church. It's not orthodoxy, not anything near the church of Christ that was in their lives, working in their lives, influencing them. Certainly there were aspects of it that were Christian in, teaching, ideology, outlook, but let's not be deluded like America was ever a Christian country, because then we're talking about heresy as Christian. Now, if you want to talk about Christian and you want to define it as general teachings that more or less align with Christian teachings, moral teachings that are Christian, okay, we can certainly recognize aspects of the Christian teaching, but to call it a Christian country founded on Christian principles, I think is a stretch. So from the beginning, America, for example, or Australia, or any of the Western countries, were far from Orthodox Christianity. Like we all have always exalted and believed in imperial, monarchical power, right? We are always been for the emperor. So what we know is Orthodox. We're not, capitalism and democracy are not seen by most saints as the God-given and God-ordained way of governance. It's very new for the Orthodox, if not problematic. I'm talking about on a theoretical level, like it's an inversion of the monarchy, right? It's an inversion of the king. And so it's got, from the get-go, it's got problems in terms of the Orthodox understanding of authority in the world and how it's should be dealt out and governed. So anyway, my point is, we can get into all kinds of rabbit trails. My point is, yes, but, right? Yes, theoretically, yes, but the more you go deeper into Orthodoxy, the more you realize, I'm going to run into problems here. I'm going to run into problems there. I think we should absolutely be involved as much as we can to help our fellow man, to be involved in society as much as we can when we can. I was very involved in the pro-life movement. I went to jail many times to defend unborn babies when I was in college. I started a whole national collegiate movement. So I was an activist before I became Orthodox. I don't think there's anything wrong with actively loving your neighbor and being a part of society, but do it in an Orthodox way. And that's difficult, right? That's difficult, and it takes a lot of discernment.